Welcome to my Permadeath series for No Man's Sky, and here we are, we're up on the space station in the system we were exploring the last part. And what can I say, when you think you've got everything under control and things are going smoothly, Hello Games drops a new update, and that is the Mech update. I think that's the official name for it. That was released on the 7th of April 2020 if you're watching this in the future. Now it's an interesting update, but before that I just want to talk a bit about what I feel's kind of gone slightly wrong on this, because this update has come literally out the blue, but there was a trailer linked on the Xbox which I think in some ways has forced Hello Games' hand a little bit, and that means that this update's got a few bugs in it as far as I can tell. I mean, there's been, I think, at least one, maybe two hotfix patches, so I'm expecting to maybe have a few problems with this, but at the same time, this isn't going to be an in-depth video of going through the whole update. I think I'm a bit late to the game on this. It caught me a bit flat-footed, and I think Zane has already done some pretty good coverage on the new Mechnoid, I think it's called the Minotaur, and quite a few other channels. So this is just me playing. We're going to see if we can find it and see what type of trouble I can get myself into. Now, I do actually have the patch notes open on the main features, so I will talk a little bit about those. And the main feature of this update is the fact that we're now getting a new Mechnoid, I suppose is probably the best way of describing it, called the Minotaur, which is going to supposedly let us explore in more extreme planets. But there's also been other changes related to Exocraft, so I would go a little bit further and say this is actually an Exocraft update that adds a new specialist form of personal Exocraft called the Minotaur. So let's just get down and see what this new Mech Minotaur is all about. What I have done off camera is I went down on a planet and collected a pile of salvage data, because I'm not exactly sure how the tech will work and thing. But the first thing the patch notes actually says is that you've got to go to the anomaly and get the Minotaur. So I suppose that's the first thing we're going to need to do. You can see I've got my Nada bobblehead there. I'm actually really starting to enjoy having him there. It's kind of really, you know. So we're just going to get into the Nexus. Well, I suppose I could blow up a few asteroids on the way through. And we're just going to jump out, and I suppose we better head for the tech bay and see what we got to do to get the Minotaur. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be some other new techs involved. In fact, the patch notes actually say that. So let's just see. Well, I'll guess that it's the construction research station. But we better have a quick look through here and see what we can find. So we got an orbital exocraft materializer. Destruction allows the user to summon any owned exocraft while in the same system as the freighter. That's interesting. And we've got the Minotaur Geo Bay. So what we've actually got to do is deploy the Geo Bay in order to get that. So of course we're going to grab that. Okay. And I like the idea of this because it means that, what was it? System as their freighter. Interesting. Does that mean we've actually got to install this on the freighter? The interface was the Exocraft quick command system. Okay. Well, we're just gonna have a quick look through to see if there's anything else new being added. Let's get that out of the way. I think I've got all the other tech. Oh, nope, back one. What's that? We got electrical cloak. Oh yeah, I've noticed this in the patch notes. This is something that's really new. This is electrical cloaking unit. I think this is something they've introduced to kind of mitigate the complaints about the fact that when you build a base you have those horrible blue wires going everywhere. And yeah, I think we're certainly going to take that. It says device to enable wireless aesthetic in habitable bases. Constructing an electrical cloaking unit within a powered base will reduce the visual prominence of all local wiring. Hidden wires will continue to supply electricity, providing sufficient power. That could be very useful. and this doesn't actually need that much in the way of resources. So in some ways that's just a patch fix. So can't see anything else here. Yeah. I think that's about it for this guy. I'm not expecting anything new for ships, but we'll take a look just in case. Wings of Glory, friends. Research ship upgrades. Now I'm not seeing anything new here, which is to be expected. But we're probably going to get more stuff when we talk to the Exocraft guy. Let me see, research exosuit upgrades. Nope, there's nothing new there. Multi-tool. Oh, and a big thank you to Kryto Tharg for your suggestions for multi-tools. That was meant to be the subject of this video, but needless to say, it didn't exactly work out that way. But we will be looking at multi-tool configuration and the different weapons that Kryto Tharg suggested probably in the next part. Okay, so this is the upgrade. So what we got here? Exocraft hazard protection. Ah, this is something I saw in the patch notes. It says, I'll just look at the patch notes and read it out. It says, Exocraft no longer grant immunity to planetary hazards by default. External environmental conditions will now drain the player's hazard protection through a reduced rate, though at a reduced rate from a planet. The specialist technologies have been made available at iteration Persis on the space anomaly to allow the Exocraft to be upgraded to prevent an environmental damage. Now this actually now poses a very interesting question about this update and the living ship update, and I do wonder whether these two updates are laying the foundation of a future update where we're going to get more extreme planets, and the more I think about it, the more sense it tends to make. In this, you know, that Hello Games want to introduce more extreme planets, probably volcanic planets or very highly corrosive planets, or things like this. And introducing the Mech may be a way of doing that, which basically means that if you go down on the planet, you will not survive in your normal suit. You're going to have to use an Exocraft or the Minotaur. And so I've got a feeling that's where Hello Games are going with this. But I think they wanted to get the Minotaur in first and get that established, so within the player base before they drop a bigger update. Now, I'm not claiming any inside knowledge, that's just my pure speculation, and that's where I'm going to stop now. So, I mean, we've got piles of nanites, so we got, let's do it. So we, megawatt heater. oh, of course, yeah. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Well, what I'm going to do is I'll go through and grab all these techs because they're all familiar, and then we'll get to the Icarus fuel system and a solar recharge unit. That could be useful. Anyway, I'll just get these environmental techs first, then I'll be right back. So I've now just got the environmental protection. Let's take a look at the Icarus fuel system. The Icarus system takes advantage of existing metal paneling, upgrading them into photovoltaic surfaces. This reactive coating generates energy during daylight hours, offsetting fuel consumption. Enables the automatic... Oh, so this is like an automatic recharger, like the thruster option on the ship. Yeah, I think that could be useful. So I must admit, refueling the Exocraft can be a little bit of a pain in the neck. So, yeah, technology. And we'll just look at the ones that we really came to look at. I'm just going to come in here. Research Exocraft. So this is part of the daedalus energy. So it looks like we've actually a compact reactor unit for the engine of the heat monitor mounted on gyroscope to prevent fuel incidents. Minotaur power unit. Does that mean we've actually got to install that? Or is that just by default? I think that's just by default. We've got a Minotaur laser, mounted laser specifically designed for Minotaur heavy. See again there, it says Minotaur heavy exosuit hybrid. And we're just going to grab this. I mean, that doesn't require that much in the way of resources. And we're just going to... So what we've got here is a precision Minotaur laser. An upgrade to the Minotaur Heavy Execute Hybrid's laser array amplifies the power deployed by the mining beam, increasing mining speed, enabling processing of difficult mine raw materials. So I think this is the equivalent of an enhanced laser in the multi-tool. So we're certainly going to take that. I'm just going to move forward. And we've got a Minotaur cannon, a mounted cannon specifically designed for the Minotaur Heavy, designed primarily for damage against biological entities and is efficient when deployed as a mining device. I wonder whether that will take down walkers. So again, I wonder whether they're actually going to beef up the sentinels a little bit. So the only way you can really take on a walker is with a Minotaur suit. I mean, that could be an interesting head-to-head battle. Not that I'm going to be rushing into it in Permadeath. And we've got a Minotaur bore, Minotaur digging laser. Adds a terrain manipulation capacity to the laser array. Wow, that could be useful. I mean, for walking around and gathering resources. We'll just take that as well. And that is all the tech that's available, which is pretty useful. I think what we're going to do is I'm a little bit interested in the tech that we can deploy to the freighter first. So rather than rush off to a planet, if I can find my spaceship, I want to go into the freighter first and see how this tech deploys, because what that may mean that we might be able to avoid building an exocraft base on the planet for the Minotaur. I just want to try that as an experiment. I mean, well, what I probably will do is see if we can deploy it, and if we can, how that mechanism actually works. My freighter's around here somewhere. There it is. It looks like all my frigate missions are back. Look at that. Is my frigate fleet all gathered up. I suppose I should really cache those missions up, but I'll do that off camera. I suppose we're gonna have to go upstairs and do this. Actually, while I'm here, what I could do is I've been collecting a few plants. We've got some jade peas and some haploid wheat. I think I've also got some meat. I think I had, or did I sell it? I can't remember now. Maybe I sold it. What we can do straight away is, oops, get out of the way. Access ingredient stock. You see there, I actually did some processed meat. Okay, I'll just do a bit more. Yeah, incinerated flesh. That my wife, hope my wife never watches this video, because she would probably use that as an indication of my cooking abilities. Okay, it's just incinerate some flesh. Anyway, just want to check these carbon planters. Oh, so these do work without power as well. Right, don't get distracted. What we need is, where would this be? It actually looks. What was that there? We need ionized cobalt. It says orbital exocraft materializer. I've got cobalt, so I should be able to make some ionized cobalt. Hopefully I'll have enough. I've got some dihydrogen that can go to cobalt 140, 120. How much do we need? Oh, we need 50. That's not a problem. The question is, where would we put this? I mean, we don't really need to access it regularly, do we? Maybe we'll put it up the top there. So we'll just let this run, and I'll be right back. Okay, with the refiners finished, so we'll just drop that into the exosuit, and I think we'll go up here and put it up above here. Yeah. This is an even. No, we've got 1, 2, 3. So maybe if we put it opposite this doorway here. Let's just check it out. We don't get to interact with everything. It just lists all the different equipment on here. Oh, that's cool. We've got some tires there. So this is like an Exocraft control bay. Actually be quite cool to have a room next door with the Exocraft technician in it as well. We got a circulating radar here. Oh well. So that's that done. So install megawatt heater. Yes. It might help if I actually got the Minotaur first. I think that's about it. Let's have a quick look at my. Yeah, they're all back. But, no, I'll do that off camera. I don't want to get distracted. I don't want this video to be too long because life is getting a little bit busy at the moment, and it's also getting a bit complicated as well because there's lots of new games coming out, and I'm getting very distracted, and quite perversely, given the current crisis in the world at the moment, I'm actually having to work harder for a living at the moment, and so it's actually making it a little bit difficult to try and keep up with the schedule at the moment. I'm hoping in about a week or so that life may actually slow up a bit again. Well, I think we'll just go to this moon here. It's not that far away. And we've got incoming hostiles. I know it's not really a tough environmental planet, but right, we're coming right down on top of a crash freighter and a base. Interesting. I think we'll go for the base here and just land. That wasn't a bad guess, was it? I'm just gonna shoot in here. I don't want to talk to him. What I do want, well, one thing I do want is navigation data. I seem to have lost all my navigation data. Ah. Hello, I'm not going to talk to you, to Prospector Eid. Right. Here we go. Portable, I presume it will be in Exocraft. Don't want the summoning. Oh, there's the Minotaur. Oh, I need 4 metal plates and 1 iron battery. I suppose that goes without saying. We should have plenty. 1.5. Yeah, I wasn't expecting problems with. And we need to make some more iron batteries anyway. Okay, let's go for it. Oh, meant to see if I could actually. Oh well, I presume the summoning will be from this perspective. Yeah, so we've now got the ability. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. So because we got that, we could just summon the. This is really great. I think, to be honest, I think this is going to be more useful than the exoplate. That having that tech installed up in your freighter. Right. It's not turning very well. This is Exocraft. Wow, we've got plenty of spaces in here. Could be useful. Let's see what we can install. Icarus fuel system enables automatic engine recharging. I've got the storm crystals and the microprocessor in the wireless. We're going to get that in. Oh, you annoying. Freighter. Bring that down to the Exocraft. So we got that installed. What else can we install? I wouldn't mind a mining laser. We got the wiring looms for that as well. So we can move everything around. So we'll just drop that in. And what else can we put in? Oh, we don't have Grappatino balls with cobalt mirror. So that's the precision laser. And we got mining ball. Well, let's put this in. We've got the ammunition, the pugnium, and the wiring. I mean, might as well kind of tool up ready for this. Cobalt. So we've now got the full set. We're gonna have to think of a name for it. I don't want to just call it Minotaur. See what the weapon change. Aligning. The laser's pretty effective. Oh yeah. Doesn't seem to want to turn very well though. I can see this. One of the downsides of this, I can see if you get into a battle with sentinels, trying to turn quickly could be. Can't seem to get it to run. Does feel a little bit cumbersome. Can we still? There's no scan. So there's no scanner. But then again, Hello Games may fix that over time. Got a reasonable amount of storage. Environmental control renders impervious to all environmental hazards. This is, I think, is the key to going forward. When I'm pretty sure, I'm almost convinced we're going to get extreme survival capability here. So it needs carbon, condensed carbon. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the two things I would say, is that there's no scanner on this, and it's a little bit cumbersome at the moment. I'm just, we changed. Oh, it's probably. Alright, the storm's clearing. We'll just see. I'm not sure about that grid around it. Yeah, I mean, it looks useful, but I think that's a very restricted visibility. I like the fact that you've got the it tells you where you are, the outside temperature. It also tells you current location. I think that's one of the new features with the other exocrafts. Is they got, yeah, I don't think I could live with that. What's the other stuff here? So that's the quick menu. Exocraft. So this is there, no exocraft scanner installed. So it makes me wonder whether there is meant to be a scanner, but it's not available. Unless there's a way that you can get it. I mean, I wonder if we would be able to purchase the technology up on the space station. But that's something to look at in the future. Let's just play with this. Yeah, I think third person is going to be the way forward. To be honest, I think anyone who's playing in VR, this may not be a particularly very good experience. Oh, we got jetpack. Oh, I didn't realise that. Oh, haha. Oh, yeah. Now, this has got jetpack enhancements. Oops. Wait. I think it's a bit tricky to manipulate. Like, the camera can spin round him all the way. It's like the camera's not locked in the sense of direction where you can go, so you can actually turn around and look at yourself. Yeah. Yeah, but I've got an exosuit. You can. Yeah. I'm really impressed with this, but I still think there's a little bit of work to be done, and that actually does bring me back to the feeling that maybe Hello Games have been rushed into this release, that they would have preferred to have worked on it a little bit more. Anyway, let's just jump out. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to pick up that up and get back the resources, because you don't really need that Exocraft base there. Oh, I like the way it's all squatted down. Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that. Oops. That's interesting. So we can still, as long as we, okay, let's just send that to the freighter, that to the freighter. Right, the next thing I want to do is I just want to try out, oh, it's better top up the oxygen, which is what I was going to do before I, let's just try the new summon capability on the Exocraft. I want to just check, and let's just bring my favourite in. So I'm just going to jump in the Roma. Now, and of course we've got the new tech. Oops, tech not. The only thing I would say about the new tech is that, I mean, I like that Icarus. Ah, so you can put this in both of them. I'm going to go through some storm crystals. I'm not going to put the text on this because my main concern is that you're actually going to fill up this space. So what you may end up with is a shortage of capacity, because if you imagine that the time you've put in these boosts, if you put the environmental protection on it, so that's what, that's 8, 9. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You wouldn't have much space left, and this is the Roma. And for example, so say we bring in the what we call it, come up here. If you bring in the Nomad, I mean, you couldn't put all these techs on this Nomad. I mean, it's not big enough. So I really feel that there needs to be a technology slot up top, same way as it is with the suit and the Starship. So I definitely feel that the Exocrafts need technology slots, either that or the ability to upgrade this. Because again, you couldn't put all the capability on here. Let's just jump out. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I think the ability to just spawn these for free from the freighter it's going to make me a bit more inclined to actually use these Exocrafts more. Because I mean, oh, thank you, game. Because I think one of the problems I've had with Exocraft in, like, say the last 6 months or so is it's just been a bit of aggro putting out the summoners. I think the ability to just do that, come in here, come across, up, and just bring in. Interesting that I can't summon the Colossus. Well, it's obvious you can't summon the Nautilon. Why can't I? So I can't summon in the Colossus. Don't I have the ability to build the Colossus? Interesting. I thought I had. But that's something to look into another time. Let's just get in out the storm. There's a little bit of a heck there. Right, let's just jump into Mr. Minotaur here. And what was the tech, the one missing tech that was there? We need 2 Gravitino balls and a cobalt mirror. Okay. I can get a cobalt mirror in here. I've got a feeling I've actually got some Gravitino balls somewhere else. Hello, mister. I think we can get. I mean, this normally sells components. Yeah, we can get a cobalt mirror there. Salvage data. Actually got a pile of salvage data. We can probably sell that now. Where is it? There we are. We'll make a little bit of cash. And I need some Gravitino balls. I've got a feeling I've got some up on my up in my storage vaults. I think we're just gonna get in here and do the usual routine. Might as well start the process of replacing the nanites that I spent on all those techs. Although I must admit, when I first saw this update being released, I was just half expecting to have to do a mission like we did with the living ships. You know, like go out and maybe discover the tech. Jump in the ship. And I think what we're going to do, just to finish this video off, is we're going to go up into space, go back to the freighter, and see if I've got any Gravitino balls. Well, we've got hostiles coming in, but it won't be a problem because we haven't got far to jump. Oh, yes, okay. I've got protection of all my frigates. Yes. I can find them. Well, looks like there's 3 of them. Come on, boys, come out and protect me. Wait. Change. Where's my... Do need to get a ship weapon on here as well. The multi-tool. Actually, yeah. Oh, I thought. Oh no, there. I was just. I'd convinced myself I'd put on a weapon, an extra weapon on here, but of course that would be. I'll be putting that on Wanderlust. Yeah, see. I'm being defended by my freighter, and you guys have got no chance. I don't want to hit my freighter. It may get a little bit upset. What are you firing at? Of course, the problem I got now is my freighter's going to stay in combat mode. Okay, let's just get into the space station. Actually, as I was coming into the space station, I just suddenly had a thought. Let's just go up and check the Exocraft tech guy. See if we can buy any. Right. We'll check this. That's only in kilo. You're Mr. Exocraft Tech. And can we get anything for? No. We've got Exocraft laser module, cannon module, Nautilon. So there's nothing in here for the Minotaur, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't exist, because the way this updates is this tends to be fixed when you arrive. So maybe what we need to do is go to another system. And I'm just going to do that. Apologies for the distraction. I need to make my way towards the center of the galaxy anyway, so I'm just going to galactic core. You can see we're only 6,000 on that. Not sure what that is there, but I don't really want to follow the pathway because that's just got yellow stars. We can go to a green star. Expand. Now I want to go to somewhere with a space station and because it'd be a bit rational. Got one here. It says all processing sustainable. Got a few planets on it, and it's okay. Let's go here. Oh great. I just thought about all. Okay. Hello boys. Right, he's out of range. He's probably hidden around the back of here. Okay, let's just get a little bit clear of the crater. There he is. Oops. I hate fighting in the middle of an asteroid field. And you're out of range. He's just coming in hot and heavy. I've just hit the cargo container. Could be in trouble here. We can't afford any more hits. Or did I hit that cargo container? Good job. Okay, thank you. Let's speak to the commander. Yes, but I'm not interested in your freighter because I don't like the look of it. End communication, yes, thank you. Well, we might as well be polite. Yes, but I'm not interested. Just pick up some tritium on the way through. And we're just going to dive into this space station. And... or, correction, I will try and dive into this space station. I'm sure they've changed this docking mechanism because since the living ship update I've had several times when I've flown right down onto the port and I've missed, which seems a bit strange really. Hello, someone's following me. Hello. Hello buddy, fellow explorer. I'm just gonna see if he's got... Wait, don't go away, don't go away, don't go away. And buy items. Then we've got cobalt mirror. Just change the ship. Sell off. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I think that's about it. Why have I got fungal mold in my ship? And cactus flesh. Oh well. I need to drop that off back in the vaults. So we're just going to go here. This is Mr. Exocraft man. Humboldt Drive, Exocraft engine. No, so it looks like the upgrade, there are no upgrades for the Exocraft, which doesn't make sense, seeing that they're implying that there should be a scanner, or so either you're not going to buy them, or we're gonna have to try and find them another way. If any of you know, feel free to chuck it in the comments. I mean, maybe now that I've actually got my Minotaur, what I might do is watch some of Zane's videos just to see what he's been up to. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.